If you can't control yourself, you'll lose everything. The most dangerous enemy you will ever face is not another man, not society, not bad luck, and not circumstances. It is you without control. History is full of intelligent men who ruined their lives not because they lacked talent, but because they lacked restraint. The Stoics warned about this long ago. They believed that self-control is the root of all strength and that without it, nothing you build can survive. Loss does not arrive suddenly. It creeps in quietly. One uncontrolled reaction, one repeated indulgence, one excuse justified too many times. Before you realize it, what you worked years to build collapses in moments. This video is meant to confront you with that truth. Watch until the end, because each point builds on the last. And if you want more Stoic lessons that sharpen discipline, self-mastery, and mental strength, subscribe to this channel now. This channel is built for those who want control over their lives, not chaos. 1. When you lose control of your mind, everything else follows. The Stoics believed the mind is the command center of life. If the mind is undisciplined, every area beneath it becomes unstable. When you cannot control your thoughts, you cannot control your actions. When you cannot control your actions, outcomes become unpredictable and often destructive. An uncontrolled mind jumps from impulse to impulse. It magnifies problems, invents fears, and reacts emotionally instead of rationally. Over time, this creates internal disorder. You begin to sabotage yourself without realizing it. Opportunities are missed because of hesitation or overconfidence. Relationships fracture because of careless words. Progress stalls because focus disappears. Self-control begins internally. It starts with awareness. The Stoics taught that you must observe your thoughts before you obey them. Not every thought deserves action. Not every emotion deserves expression. A man who fails to understand this becomes a servant to whatever enters his mind. Once mental discipline collapses, life becomes reactive instead of deliberate. And a reactive life always ends in loss. 2. Desire without restraint will eventually cost you something precious. Desire feels harmless at first. It promises comfort, pleasure, relief, or escape. But desire without control slowly becomes destructive. The Stoics did not teach the elimination of desire. They taught mastery over it. When desire dictates your choices, short-term pleasure replaces long-term thinking. You choose what feels good now over what benefits you later. Over time, this pattern accumulates consequences. Health declines, discipline weakens, focus erodes, respect diminishes. Uncontrolled desire does not announce its damage immediately. It drains you quietly. It steals time, energy, and clarity. What begins as indulgence becomes dependence. What begins as freedom becomes captivity. The Stoics believed that a man ruled by desire is never satisfied. He is always chasing, never grounded. And a man who cannot say no to himself will eventually lose the ability to say yes to meaningful things. Every loss tied to indulgence begins with a failure of restraint. 3. Emotional outbursts destroy what years of discipline build. Emotion itself is not the enemy. Unchecked emotion is. The Stoics understood that emotions are natural responses, but they warned strongly against acting under their control. Anger spoken without restraint destroys trust. Jealousy acted upon ruins relationships. Pride unchecked leads to arrogance and downfall. Fear uncontrolled leads to paralysis and missed opportunity. The danger of emotional loss is speed. It happens fast. One moment of uncontrolled reaction can undo years of effort. Careers end. Reputations collapse. Bonds shatter. And once these losses occur, recovery is rarely complete. Self-control creates a pause between feeling and action. That pause is power. It allows reason to intervene. It allows you to choose your response rather than surrender to impulse. The Stoics trained themselves to remain calm under pressure because they knew pressure reveals character. A man who cannot control himself when tested cannot be trusted when it matters. 4. Comfort without discipline slowly destroys your capacity. Comfort feels safe, but excessive comfort weakens you. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort because they understood this truth deeply. When you always choose ease, you lose tolerance for effort. Uncontrolled comfort creates fragility. Hard tasks feel unbearable. Challenges feel unfair. Responsibility feels overwhelming. Over time, you begin avoiding difficulty altogether. This is where ambition dies. Loss through comfort is slow and invisible. Nothing dramatic happens. You simply become less capable than you once were. Discipline erodes. Standards drop. Self-respect declines. Self-control protects you from this decay. It forces effort when comfort tempts withdrawal. It maintains sharpness in a world designed to dull you. A man who cannot resist comfort will eventually lose the strength required to protect what he has. 5. A man without self-control cannot be relied upon. Reliability is built on consistency. Consistency requires self-control. When your actions depend on mood, desire, or impulse, people learn not to depend on you. The Stoics believed character is revealed through repeated behavior. Anyone can act well occasionally. Few can do so consistently. Self-control is what makes consistency possible. Without it, promises are broken. Responsibilities are avoided. Words lose meaning. Trust fades quietly. And once trust is gone, respect follows it. Loss of trust is one of the most expensive losses a man can experience. It limits opportunity. It damages reputation. It isolates you socially and professionally. A man who governs himself becomes dependable. A man who cannot eventually stands alone, confused about why doors keep closing. 6. Lack of self-control creates regret that cannot be erased. Some losses in life cannot be undone. Words spoken in anger cannot be retrieved. Time wasted cannot be reclaimed. Opportunities ignored do not wait. The Stoics trained foresight to prevent regret. They encouraged thinking beyond the moment, acting with awareness of consequence. Self-control protects your future self. It prevents decisions that feel good now but cause pain later. Without it, life becomes a collection of irreversible mistakes. Regret is heavy because it combines memory with helplessness. You see clearly what should have been done, but you no longer have the power to change it. A disciplined man minimizes regret by acting with restraint before damage occurs. An undisciplined man learns lessons only after loss, when learning is most painful. 7. Self-control is what allows you to keep what you build. Building is hard. Keeping is harder. Success attracts pressure, temptation, and attention. Without self-control, success becomes dangerous. Wealth without restraint leads to excess. Influence without discipline leads to arrogance. Freedom without structure leads to chaos. The Stoics believed mastery is ongoing. There is no finish line where discipline stops. Self-control is what protects your achievements from yourself. Many men reach success only to lose it because they fail to maintain control. The same traits that build progress become corrupted by ego and indulgence. If you want to keep what you earn, you must govern yourself continuously. Control is not punishment. It is preservation. Conclusion: if you cannot control yourself, you will lose everything. Not all at once, but piece by piece, quietly, Predictably, the Stoic path demands awareness, restraint, and discipline. It asks you to master your impulses before they master you. If this message challenged you, subscribe to this channel for more Stoic truths on self-control, discipline, and inner strength. Control yourself, and you control your future.